We're on episode 16 of the Packed Out Podcast. I am Shakita Valentine. They are my sons, and I have the esteemed privilege to be sitting with them in their location this month during National Women's Month. Whoop, whoop.
It's Women's History Month.
Women's History Month. Making history. Because this is my first time on podcast with you guys. I collabed with you earlier, but this is my first time being in your presence. I'm so excited. Yay. Yay. Cool beans. What we talking about? Let's just jump in.
So Bam said he had to get a little flow.
Well, we just gonna begin with what my mom said. Women's History Month. Mm-hmm. So, I think Women's History Month is all about empowering the woman before my mom and other women in the world and what they did to change the world. So, I'm gonna just ask Mama this, put her on the hot spot. If you don't know, she's gonna elaborate on exactly how she changed the world, because the audience y'all may not know. So, Mama, I'm gonna just let you talk about how you changed the world and what you do to change the world.
Oh wow! I don't feel like I've changed the world, okay, but I think I'm highly influential in other people's lives. Okay. Such as so many other people in regards to like the social media platform. But I think intimately I've been influential in people's decision making, people's coming into who they really are. Like that's my purpose, is to, help others become their greater self, their best version, all the cliche things to say. But that's what I've been doing before there was a social media platform. And so as far as changing the world, I think each one of us are world changers in some way, shape, or form, because we're touching the world somehow. Mm-hmm. So just like the our podcast, somebody's being influenced by something that we're saying or doing, and it's changing the world because we're evolving them, and then they're somehow changing the world. So I think that would be the best way I could say that I'm changing the world, even though it doesn't feel like, no great inventions and things like that. But yeah, being me changes the world.
Yes, man. No, that makes sense. For you personally, who's a female influencer for you? Like one of your top 3, I guess you could say, who's really been an influential person for you recently?
So I've said this in one of my books. My aunts, my mom and my aunts, the women around me, right? So I in one of my chapters, I call myself a fragmented woman, because I took the good of each one of them and learned from that and added it to my personality, my persona, my authenticity. Even if it fit, it fit. If it didn't fit, it didn't fit. But that's how I became the woman that I am. They all influenced me in some way, shape, or form, and I took the good from them. Not all of it was good, but in most women's lives and women's that has issues with their moms and people that raised them and things like that, their grandmother histories, take the good, adopt that. And that's how, so I looked at my aunt circle, because that's where it was influential in my development years, and said, oh, my aunt does this. Oh, I like when she does that. This aunt does that. Oh, I like when she does that. My mom does this. I love when she does that. And that's how it became a fragmented woman, but a beautiful vase, a Tiffany vase, like with the broken pieces. So yeah.
So we just move on to the next question. So, Women's History Month, back on that again. So when it comes to Women's History Month, and you talked about influence, how do you influence? How do you for the younger crowd out there, for you to influence others, how do you influence the younger crowd to aspire to what you do, or aspire to be one of those women to be influencers or changers of the world? If you get what I mean.
I get what you're saying.
I was all over the place, but
yeah, I get what you're saying. Just it is what it is. My biggest theme is be authentic, right? Like your biggest competition is you. It's a whole shirt out there, me versus me. Like, stop competing with other people. When there was no social media platform, all you had was your drive to become better. your drive to succeed. You weren't comparing yourself to anyone else. Now, when I was coming up, like in the younger age, because I had both of you at, your dad and I had you both at young ages, you know, y'all were our motivation. Like, find your motivation to become successful and it not be competitive, it be influential, right? Like, it was about becoming better for the sake of my children. It wasn't about becoming better because I got to do better than somebody else. It's about become better because I want more for my family. It wasn't about I want my family to be on social media flossing, right? So it's a different viewpoint when you're talking about um, becoming successful, and then define success. What does that look like? And it don't have to. It's not associated with numbers or anything. I honestly think success is associated with a feeling. Like, okay, it's a feeling of peace that you can't. Success is a feeling of peace that you cannot explain. It's not. Yeah, the dollars will come with it. I talked to. I actually was speaking to some people at my job, and a group of people at their graduation. I was one of the speakers, and I said to them, "You can chase the paycheck, but as long as you have a purpose, the paycheck will come. It'll come." Yeah.
Do you feel like you're at peace with the success you made so far in your life?
Am I? Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm at peace with all of it. Like, um, every irreversible decision that I made and every reversible decision that I made, I'm at peace with it because it grew me in some way. In some way. And through the tears, through the sad times, through the greatest of times, through the highest of times, it made me who I am. Like, you can't get stuck in the downward spiral of life. What they say, life won't be life in. You can't get stuck there. You gotta spin out like the Tasmanian devil for real. Like, he just kept spinning. Wherever he went, he kept spinning. And whether you're spinning, then just keep spinning. Just keep going wherever you want to go. Just keep spinning, and then he eventually stops. Right? He just stops. He comes to himself, and he eventually walks. So when life feels like it's just spinning out of control, yeah, keep spinning with it until it stops, and then you can walk. I don't know what the question was, but that sounds pretty good. Thanks.
Um, I think a lot of people will look at you and say that you're more of an influencer with what you do. You're a coach. We talked about this on the podcast, episode 12, I think it was, and Mom being a coach. And being a coach, you're a guide, you're an influence, and you're a leader. Do you think that people should follow your footsteps as a woman moving forward, especially younger women? Do you think people should look at you and say, I should be like her?
No.
Why?
You should want to be like yourself. You should be able to gravitate some things, or graze some things from what of my life or the things that I'm saying, but you put it into you and you become you become you. Because as long as, like, I want to be like her, you're competing in some way, because you're never going to catch up with me. You're never going to catch up with me because you're not me, and vice versa. I'm never going to catch up with whoever it is because I'm not them. That's not my lane. I'm going to go cliche-ish. That's not my lane. The people that my people are my people. Your people are your people. So no, don't aspire to be like me. Aspire to be like the best version of you. I don't aspire to be like anybody. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Maybe I'll adjust some things in my life because that helped her, but not I want to be like her. I want to be like Mike. Sorry. That's where that comes from. We want to be like Mike. Everybody was aspiring, but if they couldn't be like Mike, what happens? Right? They get disappointed because they couldn't dunk like him. They couldn't move like him. They couldn't get the numbers like him. Then they're disappointed because they aspire to be like somebody that they're not. No. Just learn from his antics, his tactics, his discipline, and move on with your life. You'll never be like Mike. And people will never be like me. Or you. Or you.
So you're basically saying like pick and choose certain things that might cater to yourself or might develop you as a person from certain things you may do, or like either when it comes to celebrities as well. Like, oh yeah, I like how Michael Jordan dunks the ball, like you said, or I like Kobe's mentality. Like, just take certain things from those people that can cater into your life, but don't try to be exactly like them because you're not them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get you.
So, would you say it's wrong for? Well, I guess I'm kind of answering my own question, but I'm asking anyway. Would you say it's wrong for people to have the aspiration to have the Kobe mentality, the Michael Jordan J, or the LeBron step back, or whatever the case may be? If I wanted to aspire to have those same qualities, am I wrong for doing that? The
No.
same way that I can aspire to be just like my dad when I grow up. Is that wrong to do?
I think it's wrong when you set them as the end goal. It's good to aspire and it's good to adapt, but when you are trying to mimic them, that's wrong.
So,
Okay. Are you saying
what do
mimic?
you,
Are you
what is
saying
the difference between me wanting to be like a person and me wanting to aspire to be that person? Like, what's the difference between being like something and aspiring to be something?
Because
Because it was a yes and a no.
so aspiring to be like somebody, or
Aspiring to be someone and
you
trying
cannot.
to be like someone.
You can adopt some of their characteristics.
I want to be like Mike was wrong, but me aspiring to be Michael Jordan is correct?
No,
No. Okay. Right.
no. You can don't be like Mike, but you can adopt some of his characteristics. You can aspire to adopt some of his characteristics. Did I confuse you? Did I say it weirdly?
I was just asking because, like, I guess aspiring to me, maybe I can define it and then it makes more sense.
Okay.
But aspiring means I'm looking up to that person and I'm like, that's the level that I need to be at. Like, that's my goal, to be at that point. At minimum, for me, when I aspire to be something, at minimum, I want to be up there. If I'm trying to be like something, I'm trying to, like, it's more in depth. So I'm trying to pull their characteristics, their mentality. How did they get to that point? All the details on why they got to the point that they're at. So not just the fact that they're there, but how did they get there?
So
I don't think either one's wrong.
right.
That's what I'm saying.
Either one isn't necessarily like definitely wrong. But remember, I think the end process is you're not them, right? Like, just remember that you're not driving to aspiring to be them or like them, that person, because you're just taking some of their things and you're gonna become you. You're not gonna become like Mike. You're just gonna have.
Maybe you can't.
Maybe you can.
Maybe you can.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I can provide this analogy. Like, I want to have a voice like Michael Jackson, right? I aspire to have a voice like Michael Jackson, but I will never have the voice of Michael Jackson because I'm not Michael Jackson. Do I like the way he sings? Yes, I like the way Michael Jackson sings. Do I like the way he entertains? Yeah, I like the way he entertains. But will I ever have the voice like Michael Jackson? No. But can I entertain like Michael Jackson? Possibly. That's
Usher.
yeah. But Michael
Like,
Jackson's better than Usher.
Of course you won't be Michael
You're right.
Jackson. Of course you won't be Michael Jackson, but you can always work to that magnitude or that level to get to that, status quo or status.
Did you just rape my Usher? Anyway,
Usher.
Usher.
She has a weird fetish for Usher.
It's not weird. I'm a fan. I'm a fan and a follower. It's not weird, right, ladies? It's not weird. Not weird at all.
It's a red flag.
So earlier you said you were at peace with the success that you had. Is there anything you would change, like in your career or just in your life? Is there anything you would change where, I would do, for instance, you would do something like a career change, like you wouldn't do your daily job that you have now, or your daily hobbies, either one.
I think my biggest challenge in life, and most people I'm not even gonna put most people in. I'm gonna just stand by myself and say this: distractions. I wish I had not gotten so distracted so many times where it made me procrastinate or it made me miss an opportunity where I could have been a bigger coach. I could have started. I coulda, right? And always feeling like I missed the moment somewhere because I knew it was coming, but I couldn't figure out why I couldn't just hop on. I just couldn't get it together to be ready. And so I literally still beat myself up today um, on several opportunities in my career that I just missed the opportunity. One, I think it was inadequacy, just feeling inadequate, but others saw that I was adequate, but I didn't feel adequate. And so I think I don't wouldn't change my career. I totally enjoy the people that I work with, work for. It creates stability for me. I needed that. I need stability. Like I'm not a what is it, mompreneur. I'm not a womanpreneur. Um, I don't aspire to do any of those things because I like a constant paycheck. um, but I don't think the only thing I would change is that I would work more on not becoming distracted and that and I knew what my distractions were, but I just was like, nope, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go this way anyway. I'm gonna derail my whole destiny for a distraction. But thanks be to God, He will always put me back on the track. But yeah, man, nope. As far as career wise, no, I like the stability of my career. Um, and it wouldn't be anything different that I would do. I would coach a lot more. My ultimate goal is to be long time ago. They called it motivational speakers. Long time ago. But since the social media platform has come in, everybody's a speaker. Everybody's an influential, and I mean influencer. And so it's like now I'm trying to navigate the space of where do I fit in that platform at a larger scale. So that's my life goal now is to really do that on larger platforms, larger stages. So that's my goal.
How do you plan on doing that?
I have no idea.
Just let God take the wheel.
I mean, if I can get out of my own head, if I can stop being a perfectionist, and if I could not be concerned about how I sound and how I look and is it going to be delivered correctly, it's the perfectionist piece that's creating the procrastination that's derailing probably the promise, to be honest with you. And I'm not perfect, but for some odd reason, I feel like anything I'm going to do has to be perfected. And especially if I'm going to stand on a platform and speak before about God, people don't know that, but I'm a preacher too. If I'm going to do that, like it's for Him, so it has to be perfected. And I will perfect it for years and never do it because I'm busy perfecting. So that's one of my regrets.
Yeah, you talked about how your sons motivated you from having us at a younger age. Sam, how does mom motivate you, brother? How does our mother motivate you?
My mother motivates me in multiple ways. All honesty, like it's the sound mind and it's the attention to detail as well. Like she cares a lot, her heart's in the right place, and she'll speak her mind. Like she doesn't let things fly. Like I think we didn't talk about this at all, but we went on a trip to what was it, Barcelona, and then we went to Paris, and then we also went to a different part of Germany as well. And there was just instances. I speak on the one specific one in Germany where she's paying for this little donut or whatever it was, and she has to tap her card, and she didn't tap it right the first time. So the cashier was like, right here, right here, right here. My mom just looks at her like, excuse me? Like, she just does not let things fly. Like, she doesn't like disrespect. And she'll let you know. She'll speak her mind, attention to detail, and just who she is as a person. She cares about the things she cares about, and you can tell. So I think that's what motivates me to have those same things within myself.
From my point of view, from the eldest, um, how my mama motivates me. Oh boy. There is a long list that I can go down, but I think the end all be all about my mother is the fact that she is loving, caring, and very outgoing. You know, with her energy when she walks into the room is something that you feel, and that's something that I've learned from her. Where when you anywhere you go, um, you walk in with confidence, and when you walk in confidence, then you will, everyone will see it through your spirit or through your energy wherever you are. So that is something that really motivates me um, throughout my work, throughout my life, everything, because it provides a purpose. That hey, I'm here for business. I'm here to get better in life. I'm here because I want to be a better me. So, I see that with my mom, how she wants to continually be a better Shakira Valentine or Shakira Valentine.
Throw the whole
I
government
know,
out
right?
there. Good
You
lord.
edit that out. Edit that out.
The whole
But
government is
let's
crazy.
try again. Be a better mom. Okay. But yeah, I love my mom to death, just like any other son would. She's sacrificed so much for Sam and and I just that's what also motivates me because it's just like I want to provide that for my mom, just like she did for us. I know my mom is not really into this. My mom is not into the sports world too much. She knows her sons are a very supportive sports enthusiast. So we're gonna talk about a little incidents that happened during Women History Month. LeBron James was on the sideline with two women that are heavy in the sports career and are changers in the sports career. And they had a friendly conversation, but I think it was a very professional conversation. But others in social media think LeBron was too friendly. He should have told the women to get off me. Da, 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 but I feel like it was a very friendly conversation. LeBron carried it professionally, and he was kind of in the, I wouldn't say trap, but where he definitely felt uncomfortable, but he had to make sure that the woman beside him didn't really see that, because it's a professional environment, and it's only temporary. So I'm gonna show Mom the clip and Sam the clip, exactly how it is, and then you guys will see the clip as well.
I do like chilling with people. I think it's a cool vibe when you go chill on the beach and like, hit the water, drink, having food, like that. But either yes and no.
So, my first question, now that we saw the video, Mom, as a fiance, how would you? Yep. Mom is a fiance. As a fiance, if you were in Savannah's shoes as the wife, how would you feel about seeing that video on social media?
Oh, I have questions. I would just know. I want to know what was said complimentary to both of them, because they both reacted in a very um like admiration, like, oh, thank you so much. And whatever he said, they felt admired, or appreciated, right? So I really want to know what that is, what that was about. And that's it. Like, I didn't see anything wrong with the clip at all. I mean, he wasn't touching anybody. Like, he wasn't, touching anybody. You could, and we looked at it. You can tell how he was in a protected state with his leg up. You look at body language. So if it was my husband, I'm like, what you say? What you say? what was the conversation that warrant physical touch from both of them? But most women are touchers. I'm a toucher. Um, and hey, listen, that could have been one of their opportunities of a lifetime to sit next to LeBron James, and they're going to take advantage of it in a sense of let's talk. And like you said, they're prominent in the sports world, so hey, let's get some candid conversation out of them. So I mean, as a fiance, I wouldn't have any questions about that. I wouldn't have any questions about that. No, no. You know, can I say one more thing? The I get maybe the community is expecting him to be perfect again. Like, No, he should never be approached. He should never be presented with opportunities. And he should always be in a standard of, I don't come near me, robotic. And he's not, looking at him, or my understanding of LeBron James, he doesn't have that type of personality. And that robotic personality probably didn't get him where he is today either. That, yeah, I didn't see anything that crossed the line, except for the females crossed the line by touching them. But they it's almost like we friends. So
No, I saw another clip where he talked about, well, he was just congratulating those prominent women in the sports world that was sitting next to him courtside to the game. So if from what I saw, he was just congratulating those women. I don't see too much of it what social media is bringing up on it, but
I think we're just seeing a classic case of social media being social media. Like, that's all we're seeing. I think this is blown out of proportion, like dramatically. I didn't personally see anything that was out of the ordinary or what could be expected. Like, it's LeBron James. And we also don't know the relationship dynamic between the two women he was sitting next to. Maybe they've known each other since the beginning of his career. Like, who's to say that they've been cool? Like, they've always rocked, and that's just who they are. But yeah, I think it's just a case of social media being social media. I don't see any personal, like, I don't have any issues with it. Now, what's his wife's name? Savannah? Yeah. If Savannah has issues with this, I'd have questions, because, like, this cannot be the first time LeBron has gone through this. So if you have issues with this, like, what happened the last probably 1,500 times does it happen? But that's just me assuming. I don't have great foundation behind that, but I don't see why Savannah would trip, because at the end of the day, he's coming back home to you. Like, you got the man that every girl wants right now. So just be confident in that. That's if she's even tripping about it to begin with. So,
can I make it messy? Okay. The comments. Did you read the comments? Like, I'm famous for going to a video and then you see something and go straight to the comments. No, okay. I'm curious to what culture had the most comments about how LeBron did or did not respond to two white women sitting next to him and allowing them, and that could be causing, that probably could be the reason that it's messy now, because they're looking at it culturally. They're looking at race, and that race will always cause a mess for no reason. They're humans. That's a woman and a man and a woman. That's it. And if we could stop saying color, I'm not sure if the comments was going that way. Like I said, I'm going to be messy, but that probably was why it was more, how can I say, what is it when you pick something apart? That's probably why it was picked apart the most.
I would disagree in the sense of, like, stop seeing color. I think it's appropriate to see color. I think you're wrong if you don't see color. You got to see it in the proper context. This is not a context in which you look at color and be like, oh, this is crazy. He going to let some white girl touch him. Like, no. Sorry, the video cut off. It's every 30 minutes. But like I said, I think there's certain contexts in which you have to see color, and this is just not the context at all, by any means. So, social media being social media. Black women, I'm going to just call a spade a spade. I think it's a lot of black women in the comments going crazy because it's two white women sitting next to a prominent black man, all buddy-buddy.
That's where I was going.
Could I be wrong? Sure, but I honestly don't think I'm wrong about this.
Yeah.
So, black women, stop getting hyped like this. This is just a man chilling with a friend, somebody he probably cool with. He probably knows more people than you. Like, just respect the fact that he got friends and cool. Simple as that.
It's just the fact that when you at that status, bro, they gonna pick everything. Like Mom said, pick apart every little thing that you do.
Probably because you ain't got it.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely agree with that. Definitely agree.
Yeah. I lost my thought, but okay. Yeah, y'all right.
Let the man live. He's got a whole happy family. Let the man live.
And they ain't never seen that, so they got him. It's a rarity. I can say never. It's a rarity to see it, and people envy that, right? Like, people envy. Why do people envy people's happiness?
I think another point before we get to that, because around social media, Savannah is like around like when she does get approached by a male, she just turns them away unless it's LeBron's friends or whatnot. You will see videos and clips of Savannah how she just turns away to any male that approaches her. So, and I don't know, just outside looking in, I really don't know, but I don't know if Savannah's assuming that LeBron should have that same type of energy.
Mm.
But if you see through the video clip in LeBron's body language, like you said, it was more protected. Like, hey, I'm sitting here having a simple conversation. I don't like this. He seems uncomfortable at the same time, but he has to maintain that professional conversation. So
Right.
I don't know if that was another dilemma, but I'm just throwing things
And
out.
then look at another point of the video, going back to the body language. His leg was up and it was crossed. The moment that the woman laid her head on his shoulder, he adjusted. He lifted his leg even more, like, let me build this boundary. Now, even more. Now, with the woman that was on the other side, when he had the open arm, I mean, harmless arm touch. I don't, she just wanted to feel the black man's muscles. Okay, a man's muscles.
See,
You know
now
what I
you
mean?
seeing color. Like, why you got to throw
Because
color in there?
you just said we need to see color.
In the right context. They need to cut the context
I
to
mean,
see color.
she saw LeBron's muscles. I want to touch those. Let me touch those. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna just say this too. I think LeBron would have a real issue or would be in real trouble if he did a few things. Arm around the females and like caressing their shoulders, hands on their thighs, rubbing their thighs, stuff like that. Like then that stuff is questionable. Then it's like, why are you doing all this with these girls? They not your wives. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But you didn't see none of that. You didn't see any of it. When I saw the leg crossed over, I saw comfort. Like he was just chilling. Like it was fun. He was in a comfortable space, cool, vibing. No issues. It wasn't like he was out here trying to flirt. I couldn't tell. I'm outside looking in, of course. I don't think the man was trying to flirt. He was just talking. Simple as that. Just talking.
So back to mom's question: why do people envy other people's happiness? Why? That's a great question.
Because they ain't got it. They want it.
Jealousy.
Yeah. It's as simple as that. What do they say? Jealousy is a form of flattery. Like they love what you got. But they gonna show jealousy before they show love and affection and appreciation and happiness for what you got. So it's simply jealousy. They want what you got, but don't have the means to get it, or don't have the work ethic to get it, don't have the drive to get it. So all that anger and frustration builds up, and then boom, it boils over to hateful comments, hateful posts. Like, man, you don't deserve this. You ain't earned this. Black woman, this white woman. This. People raging in the comments. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. Jealousy that and anger built up boils over into, like I said, stuff you see on social media, comments, posts, and things like that.
Can I poke at that? Like, just because, we never know who's going to see this. If you feel triggered by what someone else has, don't outlash on them, outlash on yourself. Because the trigger is coming from a deeper place within you that you need to dig deep and sort out. If let me just brag. I have one of the best men on earth right now, because it's trash out there, ladies. I do understand and know that, but I lucked up and got blessed with one good one. And listen, like they can be hating, they can be envious, they can be jealous, but you're mad because you didn't want to put the work in, because it's work trying to find a guy. You didn't want to adjust your attitude, adjust your personality in some way, shape, or form, because you want the man to be like, oh, just take me as I am, and you didn't want to mature in some areas of your life. Like, there's other things that you should look into yourself first before you go outward and be accusatory or just being jealous about. There's some things you just really need to deal with within you. So it's a trigger. So don't go to the comments with the hating. Like, even with the what's the girl that did the viral TikTok situation, and the man wasn't the person. Oh, who the TF did I marry? Y'all didn't see that? Oh my gosh, I didn't see that. She did like a whole series on she didn't know who this man she married, and everybody was in the comments like, and these people spent the entire weekend looking at this video, this series, but she really didn't know who she married because she kept buying into the lies that he was selling her. And they were going off in the comments like, how did you not know? How did you not know? Because, and then the people in the comments are probably like, they were probably in the same situation, right? Like now you pointing the finger at her because she didn't pick it up as soon as you picked it up. You picked it up a little bit sooner, but you was in the same situation. Now you mad because she didn't pick it up sooner, and now you going off on her in the comments. Yeah, so
feeling empathy.
there we go with
sympathy.
Empathy. Being empathetic.
Yeah, being empathetic. Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. I completely agree. The term outlash, or lash out rather. Instead of lashing out, don't lash out on the social media for one, but also don't lash out on yourself. If it does frustrate you, all right, channel that frustration. Don't get mad at yourself. Don't beat yourself up, but use that frustration to drive you to be better and go get the things that you want. Don't lash out, because I think a lot of people can look at lashing out as, I'm gonna just beat myself up. Same way I'm trying to beat somebody else up.
No, that's not what I was saying. Well, that's not.
I know that's not what you were
okay.
saying.
Thanks
It's
for
just
cleaning that up.
some terms, some words can mean specific things to certain people.
Okay.
And I know that's one of them that could be like misinterpreted. But if you listen to how she used it, it makes completely sense.
Yeah, take those comments inside. Like, girl, what's wrong with you? Girl, what's going on with you? You know, those things. How
but
could you
don't
not see
beat
that,
yourself.
girl?
But
Yeah.
don't beat yourself when you do self-evaluation. Like, be real with yourself. Be like, man, I do need to lose weight. All right, so how I'm gonna do it?
Yeah, they just feel. I've experienced before, like where, they feel like it's easier to let it out than to bring it into themselves, because they've tried so many times to work within themselves and it never works out. So, and when it's easier to just let it out on someone else, then you kind of putting all your anger and stuff like that on them, all that negative energy on them, which is easier for them because they can't take that negative energy no more, because they've dealt with it for so long. So they feel like it's positive, negative energy going out. So it's sickening.
That was good. This has been another episode of the Packed Out Podcast. Continue to watch, subscribe, comment below, do all the things, follow them on social media, peep out what they're doing, because these two men are world changers. Okay? All right. Cheers.
Gone.